Hi, and thank you for tuning in to the Daily Dose for Spiritual Growth. This week, we are focusing on a biblical character named Aaron. Now, Aaron was Moses' brother, and we see him as a pivotal character throughout the story of the freeing of the Israelites and the wanderings through the wilderness as he worked side by side with Moses. We heard yesterday in our reading of Exodus chapter 4 that God actually called out Aaron to be a support and a partner with Moses in this endeavor, as Moses was a little hesitant on his own. Today we read a beautiful story of how Aaron really held up Moses through the hardest times, literally. So this is found in Exodus chapter 17, beginning in verse 8. And listen to this story. It says, the Amalekites came and attacked the Israelites. Now remember, the Israelites were God's chosen people. These are the people that God delivered from the Egyptians, and they're now wandering through the wilderness. Moses and Aaron are leading them through that time. But the Amalekites came against them at Rephidim. Moses said to Joshua, choose some of our men and go out to fight the Amalekites. Tomorrow I will stand on top of the hill with the staff of God in my hands. Now, a staff, as you read through Exodus, you see that God has this staff as a pillar of his power and his strength. And it was really a symbol to Moses of God's divine power, but also to the people of the miraculous signs that God could do. And so the staff was very important in this time. Verse 10 says, so Joshua fought the Amalekites as Moses had ordered, and Moses, Aaron, and Hur. Now, Hur is spelled H-U-R. Okay, this is not H-E-R. It's not a woman that's there as well. Hur was another companion of theirs that was traveling with them. He was from the tribe of Judah. We don't know much more about him, but he was pivotal in this story as well. So Moses and Aaron and Hur went to the top of the hill. As long as Moses held up his hands, the Israelites were winning. What an interesting picture. There's so much we could unpack there. We'll leave it today. But every time he held up his hands, the Israelites would win. But whenever he lowered his hands, the Amalekites were winning. When Moses' hands grew tired, they took a stone and they put it under him, and he sat on it. Now listen to this. What a beautiful picture of teamwork. It says Aaron and Hur held his hands up, one on one side and one on the other, so that his hands remained steady until sunset. So Joshua overcame the Amalekites' army with the sword. Isn't that incredible? God designed us to work in community. God could have created us each individually sitting on an island, right? But he didn't. He created us to be in relationship, and he created us to have community with one another, especially in our community of believers, to work alongside one another, to work in tandem with one another, to accomplish incredible things for him. And here we see a picture where God had called Moses out to be the leader. He was the head, and yet he couldn't do it on his own. He needed people around him to literally hold him up. Aaron was one of those people for Moses. Who is one of those people for you? And who are you one of those people for? Think about that today. Who has God put in your life that he's called you to be a support, an encouragement, a helpmate to? It could be a spouse, a family member, it could be a coworker, it could be a friend, it could be for a season, it could be for a lifetime. But also, who are those people in your life? Who has God put in your life who has been a support to you during those hard times? Those times where you were weak and you couldn't hold it up any longer. They came alongside and held it with you. Think about that and praise the Lord for those people today. Maybe take a moment and thank them. Give them a call, give them a hug, give them a note. But take some time to consider who God has put in your life to walk this thing out with you. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in today. Hope to see you again tomorrow for another daily dose for spiritual growth.